The manager's there and he is screaming at me. And he's like, I am paid to be a asshole and I just want to kick you out of here right now. Hi and welcome to Flaa Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and here on my channel I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood and working as an entertainment reporter. And by high demand I have invited Magnus back to my show, and he's going to share some of his insight and expertise today, right Magnus?
I'll promise to do my best.
Yeah. So yesterday it was announced that Blake Lively's team had asked to subpoena Justin Baldoni's phone, meaning, and not only Justin Baldoni, the entire team that they had sued, meaning like 5 or 6 people, and they want not only to look at text messages in regards to the case, but in regards to everything.
And they want to go back 2.5 years.
Yes, with their internet browser history, so they can see whatever they Googled. I mean, if they do that to anyone's phone, you're going to find stuff that are suspicious, don't you think? I mean, you Google many weird things. I think for them to ask to have access to Justin Baldoni's text to his wife, I mean, isn't that outrageous?
It sounds like an overreach, if you ask me.
Yeah, or like Justin Baldoni's lawyer called it, a fishing expedition, which is a word he used on purpose, I think, because that's a word that judges don't really like. And this is, like he also pointed out, this is not a criminal case, and Blake is not the FBI. This is a civil case. So I think asking for this, do you think they're going to get it through from the judge?
Not altogether, but, you know, you can do it in defamation cases, though. Yeah,
but I think limited in defamation cases. I don't think the judge is going to allow them to look at everything. I mean, that would be weird. Yeah, and who's going to look through that? 2.5 years of text messages and browser histories and emails from all these people. Anyways, they have reached out to AT&T, Verizon, and who's the last one?
AOL?
AOL?
Is that even a thing? You know?
I don't know. I wonder what they're going to find. One thing that I actually do hope for, if this comes through and they're allowed to look at everything, at least they will know that I wasn't involved, right?
They can finally rule you out.
Yeah, which means that New York Times lawsuit that Justin Baldoni filed against New York Times, you know, that will get stronger, I guess, because they can see that there wasn't anything. Okay, Magnus, and then you got so upset yesterday. I rarely see him that upset, but he got so upset when he read about Ari Emanuel.
Yeah, he's the head of Endeavor, the talent management company, and also the parent company of WME, right?
Yeah, the ones that fired Justin Baldoni after a couple of hours after Blake Lively sued him or filed a complaint.
So in this new podcast that hasn't been released yet, but they have released snippets from it, he brags about firing Baldoni. And the firing took place right after
Blake filed that complaint, yeah. I think it took place like 2 hours after the complaint was filed. Meaning that he didn't even have a second to think about what had happened. He didn't ask for receipts from anyone. He was just like, oh, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, my besties. Do you think that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had anything to do with it?
This is what Justin Baldoni's team is saying, right? They're saying that Ryan Reynolds pressured WME to fire Baldoni.
Yeah.
And of course, that has been denied by WME. But why then did they fire Baldoni? There are more quotes though out there, and he's saying that I am the man that did it. What did he say? I'm a ride or die guy.
Yeah.
So he takes credit for firing him, and then he's making fun of his last name by calling him Bologna or something like that.
Yeah, Baloney.
Baloney, and then he corrects himself and says Baldoni.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. And that's someone they represented for more than 5 years, apparently.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is what upset me. So he's taking Blake Lively's word over Baldoni's, because at that point it was only accusations, right? There was one person saying this about another.
Yeah.
And now in the podcast he's saying, well, if it's true, then Baldoni is a bad guy. He keeps basically protecting himself by coming back to if it's true and if we were to believe, or if this is, turns out to be what she says it is, then Baldoni is a bad guy. But hey, and then there is this, and this is interesting because on Instagram there is Steph with the deets, right?
Yeah,
that's what she calls herself.
Yes, Stephanie. I've been following her on Instagram.
She's great.
Yeah, she's done some really good intel on this. And yeah, so she was explaining about all the other talents that are in the agency that never was fired.
That have been accused of a lot worse things than Justin Baldoni. What did she say about him? That he said that her hair smelled good and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's well, anyway, the semantics, I guess. But still, though, there are a lot of people that are on their roster still.
Who are they?
Well, first you have Ben Affleck, right? Who apologized 2017 for groping a woman at a Golden Globes party in 2014. We have Drake, who paid $350,000 to a woman who accused him of assault in 2017. We have Jared Leto, who's been accused of doing stuff with underage girls. And we have Dylan Sprouse, who sent nude pictures to someone. And Jonah Hill, who was accused of kissing someone who was 16 against her will, apparently. And a few others as well. So, and they were never fired.
Yeah, we don't know if these things had legs or if it was true. But that's the thing with this case, too. He doesn't know. And he let all these other actors or talents stay in the company without even, I don't know if there was even a discussion about that, but with Justin Baldoni or Bologna, which he hasn't been called since 5th grade. It was probably some word they used to bully him in school. With him, it took 2 hours. And they were like, bye.
Yeah.
Ari also says that he'd never heard a bad word, or what was the word?
Well, the exact quote is, so let me read what he said to get it straight. In the podcast, he says, they've never had any bad mojo out there or treated people badly. He also says, these are good people who have been in the business for decades and have never had any bad press about them. And all the people that worked with them like them.
I don't think Ari has seen the internet. I don't think he has access to internet.
You don't think they have that?
No, WME don't have internet because he obviously is not very up to date what people are saying. Can you believe that he says that?
But the brilliant thing here, though, is that he's actually helping Baldoni's case, isn't he?
In a way, yeah, because he's saying there is no smear campaign because there's no one whoever said a bad word about them out there. So he's actually denying that Blake Lively has been smeared, which is quite funny to me.
He hasn't even heard the Millers apparently talking about
no.
TJ Miller and what's
Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool and one of the actors in Deadpool, who were talking about Ryan Reynolds, never want to work with him again. He obviously didn't see my interview with Blake Lively, or he just thought that interview was just a regular Tuesday. And Ari himself, the character Ari Gold in Entourage, is based of this guy. And he was known as, having the most filthy mouth, I think, in TV history. He was a self-proclaimed asshole, basically.
Sexist, a bully, homophobic, perhaps.
Yeah, you found some of your favorite quotes, or not favorite, but some quotes from Ari Gold, who is based on Ari Emanuel.
And Ari Emanuel actually proudly declared that Ari Gold is based on him, at least according to Mark Wahlberg, who said that Ari Emanuel claimed in front of a group of fans that I am the real Ari Gold.
Okay.
So here's a few quotes from Ari Gold. Fuck the phones, Lloyd. Unless Carmen Electra calls for an emergency titty fuck, do not answer. Open your mouth like JT is about to drop a load in it. JT, that's Justin Timberlake,
yeah.
Right? I will prevail because I'm a winner and you're a whore with more cleavage than talent. And I will not stop until I destroy you.
Wow. Oh my God.
And this is a guy, and the real Ari Emanuel fires Justin Baldoni for saying that Blake Lively's hair smelled good.
I think we've seen this kind of guy so many times here in Hollywood. And I think that sometimes people here, they are proud of being assholes. That's one of the things that surprises me the most, or surprised me the most by living here for a long time, that you see these people. But I have to say one thing first, because I noticed, because Steph with the deeds again, was looking into things on Instagram this morning, and I saw that she had gone into WME's Instagram page.
Oh, that's right.
And and there were so many comments of hatreds towards the agency there, and they kept removing them. And I was just checking now what it looked like, and you can't comment anymore on WME's Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think they got the message, hopefully. Well, I hope it's worth it for them, defending someone like Blake.
Well, at least when they don't have the answers yet, right? Why do you think they fired him without? Because of course Ryan and Blake represents much more money.
Yeah, I can't find any other explanation for it. That they're representing. How much money does he make from Ryan Reynolds? A lot. He reminded me, when I saw and I heard how the way he talks, he reminded me of this experience that I had one time where I was doing a shoot here in LA. It was with Cara Delevingne, and her manager was here. And he was the biggest asshole I've met in my entire life.
Really?
I have to say first...
You met a few.
Cara Delevingne was very nice, very professional. I really liked her. But her manager, this was such a horrific experience for me. I was hired by a big fashion magazine, a big international fashion magazine. She was doing a cover shoot, and I was doing behind the scenes. I was directing the video behind the scenes with the cameraman, and I was doing a segment for a big fashion brand, and I was doing the major interview that was going everywhere with this cover story.
So this was a contract between the fashion brand and Cara
Delevingne and the magazine. I go there, I sit down and wait for things to happen, and I speak to her manager, who's a nice British guy, and we were having a laugh and whatever before everything started. And then we start shooting, and of course we were doing behind the scenes video, which we were hired to do. So we go into the makeup area where Cara is getting her makeup done. And we set up like a time-lapse camera to see, how everything evolves. All these things that it's very normal to do in these situations. Then someone comes into the room and say, you have to leave. And we were like, okay. I go out and we just like, okay.
You had gotten okay to shoot behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, that was the whole assignment. And so we go out. And we were just like, okay, let's just do some shoots out here and just take some detail.
When they're building the set, basically?
Yeah, when they're building the set and whatever. Then this woman from the fashion brand comes out and says, you can go in now. She's just getting her hair done and it's okay. And we were like, okay. We go in, start shooting her. Then someone comes in, an assistant or whatever, and drags us out of there. Again. And then the manager's there, and he is screaming at me. And he's like, I am paid to be a asshole, and I just want to kick you out of here right now. I told you not to go in there. You are invading her privacy, and you have no manners. And I was like, what? And I was like, but she just told us to go in. And he's just like ignoring it. And my cameraman is just standing there, like his face just dropped to the floor. And he was just like, what's happening here? And he's like, if I wasn't in such a good mood today, I would kick you out of here. I am paid to be an asshole. That's my job. And I was like, whoa.
How was Cara during this?
She wasn't there. She was getting her hair done in another room.
But when you were in there in the first place, was she like...
She was nice. She was super nice, very friendly.
Did she seem bothered by the fact that you were there?
No, not at all. She was on her phone the whole time. She was just sitting on her phone, texting, while people were doing her nails and her makeup and whatever. And, the rest of the day was just obviously really uncomfortable. I sat down and did my interview with Cara, and she was really nice, lovely. I was really positively surprised by her. She was so open and so funny and whatever. But her manager, can you believe it? Why would you ever,
Did you ever get an explanation?
No.
How was he the rest of the day after that? Because this happened in the morning, right?
Yeah. No, he was just sitting by himself on the phone. And he's just like, I'm paid to be an asshole. Who says that? Like, why? And I'm there to do a job. No, it was just so. But this guy, Ari Emanuel, when I heard about him, the way, and of course I've seen Entourage, I'm like, that's the guy. That's how people are in this town, Magnus. It's just.
But at least Ari Gold was charming.
But this guy was kind of charming at first when we sat down before everything started, before he started yelling at me. I'm just not used to people just yelling at me. That's just like stuff you do when you're a child. Grown-ups who yell at people.
That's Hollywood for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's really sad. Anyways, that's it for us, Magnus.
Oh, you're ending on this note?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, we have the podcast to look forward to,
Yeah.
right? We want to hear what he says.
Yeah. It's coming out in March, so we have to wait.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long. What are they doing?
I
Magazine?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think they're just like wanting people to get super excited, and then maybe it's nothing more exciting. I think they took out the most exciting parts with him admitting that he fired Justin Baldoni, and with him saying, I don't know if Justin did anything wrong, but
I fired him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the notification button so you don't miss an episode of Flaa on Talk. And yeah, have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.